Hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome back to places I've been before but love dearly. Grim Dawn is, just got a major update, and as usual, whenever there's anything Grim Dawn in my mind, I roll a new character and just play for a while. I usually cap out after, the first chapter I beat, and then, get halfway through the second chapter, and that's usually where I stop playing Grim Dawn. At some point I will finish this game, and I think this might actually be the opportunity, the reason for me to finally, sit down and actually, play the game to completion or something. So I think my last character I was trying to go for, a beef man. This time around I think I'm gonna try and go for something a little bit faster. I've done, oh yeah, what builds have I done? I've done Demolitionist before. I think it was like a Demolitionist, Inquisitor. We could try our classic, Necromancer, Minion Master type character. Yeah, what else do we have? I haven't tried Nightblade yet. This is where I always get stuck, though. Because, what is the good class combo? I don't know. Okay. Let's roll Shaman. I think I'm gonna just go, big, two-handed, heavy hitter kind of character. At least for now. So do we want to just do this? Internal Trauma. Let's see, I don't know half of these and which ones are good. It feels like I should put 1 point into both of those, just so I can actually have my left click be something more than just, hit enemy. Let's see, switch it to Savagery, and then, yeah, I'll probably just leave it as Savagery for the time being. They've also redone quite a lot of this. Oh, we don't have any two-handed weapons, whatever. We'll find one at some point. So they've redone a lot of things. You might notice that there is no, there's minimal loot being dropped here. It's because they've actually redone it so that loot in general is considerably rarer, but also considerably better. We've got a dodge roll now. Oh, interesting. Previously it was like a roll, but now that I've picked Shaman, it's more of kind of like a forward dash. Alright. Oh. Gotta wreck through that. So it might be kind of hard for me to find some early equipment here. I'm hoping we can get a good two-handy bashy stick kind of quick. But it might also be one of those that we just get it from a chest or something. Bit scraps and a shrewd leather helm. Yeah, so less drops, but better drops so you're not just constantly swimming in trash. There's a dodge now, which, I don't know how much I'm actually going to care about that. It might matter a lot. Kind of depends if they're going to have, telegraphed AoEs, or if I have to, plan around an enemy's attack or something. Which, I don't know. Maybe. Let's see, what else was I going to say? Right, and also potions. Potions are now, kind of a cooldown-based thing. So I can quaff a potion. Well, I can't now. I'm not injured. But I can quaff a potion to get my HP back, or quaff an energy potion to get my energy back. And it comes back... I mean, it comes back over time. I don't exactly remember the cooldown. I'm sure we'll see it in a hot second when I need to heal. Or I might just clobber my way through these guys. We'll see. They're not too bad. First boss in this one is, not much. Ooh, bloody arm? Alright, then we've also got that. Fortunately, I don't need crossbows too much. Yeah, let's just grab a bit of everything. What is this? Bloody arm, one-handed mace, requires physique. I mean, sure. It's better than what I've got. Also looks really cool. So, physical damage, bleeding, savagery, savagery. Oh, wait. Hell yeah, that's actually good for me. It also is just, I think, the dude's arm? I think he had a claw. Whatever. I'll take big honking stick. We'll probably spec into savagery then for the time being. Rather than anything else. I'll probably have to respec at a later date. But if I don't have a good two-handed weapon, I might as well just roll with this good single-handed instead. That's a really good single-handed weapon. Let's go through here. I always forget that the map on this is hand-designed. For me, that's kind of a huge thing. I think there are slight variations every time you go through, but for the most part, the map is predictable. so you can know exactly where everything is. I don't, and I won't. I adore this game, but I've never committed anything from it to memory. It's just cool stuff that I really appreciate. Yeah, so do I want to just scale up savagery? Because once again, this only benefits two-handed weapons, which doesn't help me too much right now. Sure. Yeah, let's just max out savagery for the time being. Go big hits. I want to look into getting some kind of gap closer as well. My brother, way back when Diablo 3 had first come out, he was playing Monk. And Monk had, like, a really good gap closer as his just default attack. And I was super jealous because I more or less would show up right as the combat was over. And it would be like, yeah, that was a good fight. And it was kind of like that forever. For our playthrough. I think I'm exaggerating. It wasn't actually that bad, but there was definitely that feeling of like, boy, I'm just a slow barbarian man. Leap it had like a really long cooldown, it felt. Whereas in Diablo 2, you could leap as much as you wanted as long as you had the mana for it. And I usually did. I usually didn't level it, so it was never expensive. I just used it to cross all those gaps, like, really fast. Okay, enter the cave and burial hill. We might as well focus on the story. I could wander around and just kind of do whatever. Oh, well. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. I guess we just gotta go around. Did I level up again? I did. I will just be maximum savage, I suppose. There we go. But yeah, I just have like a really cheap Great Cleave that I could use to hop over all of the like weird impediments in the, what was it called? It was like the Arcane Prison in Act 2. That was what sold me on like cheap Great Cleave. Not Great Cleave, Great Leap? Danger? I don't know, whatever the attack leap was. I've forgotten the exact naming. It's been a long time since I played Diablo 2. I know there was the remastered edition that came out. I don't know. Just haven't been terribly keen on anything Blizzard made in a while. I'm hoping at some point, post-acquisition, the company cleans up fully and we get some level of confirmation that, like, yeah, actually Blizzard's not Garbo now, but I think until that happens, I'll just happily stay away. I have so many other games to get through in the meantime that, like, I can easily wait, no matter, like, how impatient I might be. Because, like, from my perspective, you know, I can barely even put more than an hour into any given game before something else pulls me away and says, like, hey, but what if you played this instead? Oops. Not now, not now. There we go. And it does not help that my job very much acts that way, too, where it's just constantly saying, hey, but these games are good, too. Go play them. And I'm like, yep, they are good. I will play them. And then all of my time just disappears into the ether because too many great games, too little time, and I guess the way YouTube is organized, generally there's no reason for me to stick with one game for long. They very much want just like a constant chain of novel one-offs, and what that does is it creates this situation where lingering on any one game for too long is tough. It doesn't stop me from trying, but it is tough. I don't know why this is like stuck in my head. I think it's one of those where it's like, I'm looking at my list of things to do for today, and it's like 7 different games, all that came out in the last 3 days. And it is, oh yeah, we should probably actually quaff the potion. It is just astounding at how many of them are games that I, like, had I played when I was but a child, I probably would have considered it one of my favorite games of all time. Oh, potion comes back reasonably fast. Oh, maybe it comes back faster out of combat? No, it just comes back reasonably fast. Well, that's nice. It's way better than just quaffing potions endlessly. Okay, let's level up before I go any further. Oh, you know what I should do? I should level up the lower thing, now that I'm thinking about it. Just for the raw stats. You know, right now I one-shot everything, but I bet some durability and other associated stats would go a long way here. I forgot that I could be investing in that. I should probably also put on some of this equipment, because I'm pretty sure my, like, trash that I started with is just in the way. Yep. At least to some degree. I think a lot of this I can't actually equip. Rare offhand. Requires spirit, though. Who needs spirit when you are big strong? I think we will actually need to mix in some things. And like I could look up a build for this, but that's boring. And honestly, I should just use the dash as a gap or not, well, yeah, as the gap closer that I was talking about. But then also just like as a means of traversing the map quicker. I've actually started... I've been playing through a lot of these games like off camera, just to kind of chill in the evenings, and so I'm starting to like maybe... I'm saying like way too much. I am tired, and it's a nice filler word. Oh right, we should probably go back to Captain Bourbon. I was kind of hoping I'd find another fast travel point, but maybe we actually have a pretty reasonably good one. Did I level up again? Dang. You level up quick in the early game. Yeah, do I want to just go back? We've got a portal right over there. Yeah, sure. Let's do it. I might be able to warp back here anyway. I guess I didn't show the early story for this, but let's be honest, it's not much.
The dead attacks have slowed and their numbers are thinning. I take that as a sign that you've dealt with the source?
Killed the reanimator.
A creature was doing this? Disturbing. Thanks to your efforts, we may yet hold out here a little longer. I've sent word to the gate guard. Speak to him and he should let you in. Take some well-deserved time to rest and recover. Welcome to Devil's Crossing. I need some time to plan our strategy. In the meantime, there are others around Devil's Crossing who could use your help. Take a moment to mingle with your fellow survivors. Kasparov, our resident scientist, is really eager to speak with you. He babbled some nonsense, but I believe he wants to talk about your connection with the ethereals. Barnabas, our handyman, said he needed help with our water pump. When you're done assisting them, speak with me in my office inside the prison.
Okay, well, we might as well level up and just put a bunch of points into this. Because, yeah, that increases all of our stats across the board. Makes it easier to grab equipment. I guess I'll talk to everybody. Oh, here you've been cleaning up out there in Lower Crossing. If you're gonna keep fighting the bastards, you'll need better equipment than that. Here's something you'll likely never see again in this world, stranger. Something for nothing. Take some iron off my hands. I don't need it no more. Oh. Let's see. So he just wants revenge. Sure. The voice acting in this game is, like, actually really good. Captain said, you're good to go. Don't start any trouble. More EXP. Shops. Now, can I just sell it? Yes. Be gone, random grabbage. Is this actually good? Fire and ethereal damage requires a lot of spirit. I guess if I level up one more time, I could wear it. Let's see. We are tolerated in Devil's Crossing. I don't think there's much I can buy here. Just tincture, oil, consumables. Okay. Keep an eye out for my brother. Sure. But I think what I want to do is go talk to these two characters.
Welcome to my workshop. I saw you fighting the dead out in Lower Crossing, and I dare say you were absolutely brilliant. Evidently, cutting you off that noose was the best decision the captain made that day. Ah, where are my manners? I'm Kasparov, scientist and inventor. what brings you to my humble shop?
Captain said you wanted to speak with me.
Rift gates, yes. The ethereals use them to get around. I was working on a way to close them, but then you stumbled through ours. We have never seen a human, possessed or otherwise, pass through one before. Not a living one, anyway. It was then that I realized that we could put these portals to use. There is something about you that is attuned to the rift gates, and I intend to replicate it.
Wait, I what?
You don't remember anything, do you? I may have taken some liberties while you were out cold. It was just a few tests, a blood sample or two, nothing major. The results were curious. It appears that your body is still teeming with residual aether energies. Don't worry, you won't be growing any new limbs. Probably. But I'm going on tangents here. I believe that with a correctly tuned pulse of aether energy, we can replicate this phenomenon in a controlled manner, as in without the need for pesky possession. I've been working on just the device to do it, but it needs power. For that, I require aether crystal fragments.
Like these?
Excellent. These will do perfectly. I'll just place them into my device here, and... Oh my, that's not right. Not at all. That pulse, it wasn't supposed to go off. Oh dear. 1, 2, 3... Yes, my fingers are still intact. Did it reach you too? How do you feel?
Feels stronger.
Ah, very good. I'm sure a little more aether in your system won't do you the slightest harm. Okay, maybe it was a lot more. But you look fine. Fitter than ever. A real shame about the prototype, though. Showed such promise. Perhaps if I had more fragments.
I think we're done here.
We've been so preoccupied with this Riftgate business that I completely forgot about my apprentice, Darlet. I sent her out to the Burwich estates to fetch parts for our research, and she's been gone entirely too long. Seems her ineptitude carries beyond just the workstation.
You lost your apprentice?
I have to say, I do feel a little responsible for her now that she's my apprentice. Could you please go out there and find that hopeless girl?
Sure. Like I said, the voice acting in this is, like, really good. I've heard these quests, I think, 5 times now, and it still hasn't gotten old.
The captain send you over? You must have done quite a service with the dead if he's got hands to spare for old Barnabas. Let's get to business, yeah? Our wind pump's broken down again, and we're running low on water. We're all out of parts, so I can't fix her up. Can always melt down what weapons we have, but I'm not too fond of being devoured in my sleep. I'll need scrap from Lower Crossing.
Why not lower a bucket in the river?
Have you seen the bodies floating out there? Surface water around here is rank with disease and decay. Our only hope is the well. Now, you gonna get some scrap, or do I have to settle for sass?
We're gonna find
Search the ruined houses and the old dumping grounds on the far side of Lower Crossing, past the burial hill. Smash some junk. Search the bodies of those things roaming around out there. Where you get it isn't that important to me, just that you get it soon. We're running out of drinking water. Nothing to be said about ever taking a bath again.
Sure. So I have points. Oh, these points. I will just continue to be more physique. I guess I was supposed to grab more of that while I was out. Is there more to say to this guy?
To find my...
Nope. Okay. That just means we have an active quest. I think usually what happens is I play this for a while and solve half the quest beforehand. I'm actually not used to them having more things for me to do. Because usually what happens when I play Grim Dawn is I just wander off for a bit and then I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. Characters have quests for me. Oops. I'm gonna go back for them. Well, it is kind of satisfying just being able to just completely drub my way through everything. Last couple builds have been weird. I went for a, I was trying to go for a retaliation build. Which meant I really wasn't doing a lot of damage. But I was really good at, surviving things and just, like, tanking hits and letting enemies die off of me. It was fine, but very slow. And so this build, I wanted to go with something a little bit more aggressive. I think at some point I will go for a Minion Master build, but I don't know when. My main problem with menu mastery is that you as a player are kind of not a particularly active participant. The fact that I hit so hard that everything just flies into giblets the moment I hit them it's satisfying, but it's also kind of terrifying. Like, imagine if you knew a guy who, like, could one punch. Like, it would probably be cool at first, and then it would be like, oh, that's spooky. Like, imagine if you could one punch things if you weren't careful. How just much that would wreck your life. And maybe modulating your power isn't that hard. I certainly don't remember. No, I gotta go back and reread One Punch Man at some points, because it seems like for the most part he generally was good at not just accidentally destroying things. You got to imagine the early days of that though were probably rough. And so, I don't know. I love that manga. I love that anime to bits. It is a very good depiction of what would happen if you were that powerful, and how boring that could be, maybe. And so, like, as a kid, I was always like, yeah, I want to be this, like, invincible superhero. And then, you know, as I get older, it's just kind of like, oh yeah, that would maybe kind of suck. I mean, on the flip side, I'd still rather be Saitama than, like, half the other characters in that series. I'm legitimately trying to think of other characters I'd be more willing to be, than him, and I am coming up with mostly blanks. It would be unpleasant in most situations as any other character. Okay. Putrid Den. What do we have in here? The first time I ever played Grim Dawn, I'm just gonna switch topics. I don't want to, like, fanboy for a manga that a lot of people probably have actually seen. But I don't have anything important to say apart from, like, boy, actually one-punching things could be problematic. First time I ever played this years ago was for it was like a stream event that Good Old Games was putting on. And they had, like, a bunch of guest streamers coming through to play. Okay, we might want to just back off for a hot second. There we go. Wow, they really did make it so that you are not getting a whole lot of garbage gear. You are getting a lot of the good stuff. Let's put those on. Let's see, what about this belt? Oh, this is a helm. That's energy regenerated. There's also the Tail of Alacrity, but I gotta be level 12. Dang. Might actually hold on to that. What about gear? That requires spirit. I'm not going to be thinking too much about my gear for a while. If I get greens, I'll go for them, but... I mean, honestly, I could actually just switch it so I have... like, switch my filters so we're not even picking up common or magic gear. Yeah, why don't we do that? I've got kind of a fine complement of loot, but for the most part, it's only going to get in my way. We might even want to go back really quick. Go sell some stuff off. Oh. Forgot you can rotate the camera in this game. I always thought it was a fixed camera perspective. I wonder if there's a way to rotate it. Or to reset it? Because, yeah, I prefer it when I'm walking due north. There must be a way of resetting it. Oh. And yeah, I'm just gonna put a bunch of points into this. Might as well unlock as many toys as I can, rather than hyper-focusing on one. Right now, we're very solidly in one-punch territory, so I can kind of do what I want. Okay, oh, is this where the apprentice is? Maybe. This is where something is. I exploded? No idea. Must be a gear thing. I'd love to see some more action RPGs have this kind of itemization system. Please stay your weapon, stranger. We're not outlaws. We were captured and put to work here in the mines. I hope you're here to set us free. You're slaves here. So it would seem nothing's worse to a rover than being confined. We're part of a rover band that set up camp in a secluded part of Whitemire, hoping to avoid trouble, but trouble found us anyway. They captured 4 of us, but young Larkin and 2 other men who were here already died from overwork. They just left their bodies down here with us. Rovers follow the path of peace, but I can't help but thinking the world's a better place, since you sent those outlaws to meet their judgment. I can get you to Devil's Crossing using a Riftgate. Riftgate? Curious. Thank you for your kind offer, but we should return to our people out in the swamps. That is our path. Okay. Anything else? I don't think I killed all the bandits, but then again, this cave is kind of on the small side. Yeah, there they are. Yeah, I killed some of them. There we go. I just punch them to death. They're not quite dying in one hit anymore. But I think the bleed does them in the rest of the way. I wasn't really expecting to be able to one-hit my way through this game. Though, that would be funny. Yeah, do I wanna... Let me see, where am I? My main thing is I want to see if I can find... I want to see if I can find at least one more of the warp points. It has been some time since I've found one, and... I don't know. I just like knowing where they are. I know I could pull up a map, I'm pretty sure. That actually tells me where everything is. Let's see. I think they're usually just along the main road here. So maybe I should stick to that instead of getting too distracted. Hey! Speak of the devil! It's crossing. Beat him up. I don't know where that random explosion is coming from, but I kind of want it. Oh, come on, kill the dude. Yeah, it's trying to interact with the portal, but I can't interact with the portal, so if an enemy's hiding behind it, I can't do anything to them. That ragdoll is having a time. It looks like he's trying to get up, but his legs got super long somewhere in this process. Okay, so let's go back to Devil's Crossing. Real quick, clear out my inventory. I don't think... Yeah, I don't have enough scrap for Barnabas. Oh, but
See what's left of
I think we might have solved the, I think we found the brother. Let's see. I should probably also find where my stash is.
What do you want?
For a price.
Okay, nope, didn't solve the brother. Thought I did. I guess I could also go back to my stash and drop some things off, because I do have a lot of things. But remember, these notes can just be added freely. Oh, and they do give you EXP. Well, that's nice.
Safe storage, no questions asked.
Okay, question is, do I want the offhand? I think I prefer the shield, because these don't help me. Because that's for Calidor's Tempest, which we don't have. I don't know why I picked that up. Now, where was I? Wandering around hitting stuff as Grim Dawn intended. I don't know, there's just something really satisfying about a good action RPG. Hack and slash action RPG? Freaking, this game... Genres need better names. Like, that's... I'm just gonna keep, beating that drum probably for the rest of my career. Like, boy... This genre is so cool. Why is it action RPG? I mean, it kind of makes sense. Hack and slash. Hack and slash probably is the real genre name, more than action RPG. But like, so much of this stuff is just kind of foisted upon us because we lack good genre names. I hate to say it, even though roguelike and roguelite is equal parts one of the worst genre names I've ever seen go by. It's also... I thought that was like the like trilling flute in the background. I thought for a very hot second that was somebody pressing the like please let me in button for my apartment. Anyway, from my perspective, roguelike is very unambiguous. You know exactly what a roguelike is. Permadeath. See, what do we want to grab? Do we want to grab this? Okay, so we need a two-handed weapon to actually use, though. I can keep investing in this weapon, which is not a bad idea, and we can also work up to Bear. Increases health regen. That might not be a bad idea. Get my way up there. We also have this. Beast God, Nature Blessing, Energy Reserved. Ooh. I'll at least put 8 points into it. Oh, it also increases my damage. Never mind. Let's work on that. And wait. Where is it though? Oh, is it just automatically going? It might be. There. Still don't have enough points. Oh, because I have to be level 12. Oh, that's the map window. It is skills window. So do I... Oh yeah, busts are just automatically activated now. Nice. They've changed so much and fixed so much about this game in a way that I was not expecting, nor did I need. But yeah, so now I've got pretty beefy health regen. I think we are still losing, but I mean, look at that HP go right back up. There we go. Grab the loot. Who cares if these guys are hitting me? I've got regen for days. There we go. Still don't exactly know what the yellow bar on my HP means. I think that's usually kind of a limit to how much I can heal. But it's a little vague. Oh, is this Milton? Yeah, Milton Heart, collect his amulet. Yep. I should see if I have, like, another option. Or, not another option, like another attack that does, like, a good AoE. Maybe. Alright, snag all this stuff. Yeah, we can go work on our quest later. I think I'm mostly just going to just punch my way upwards. Because I think you kind of can beat the first chapter really quick. Without any kind of talking to anybody. I could see that messing with dialogue, maybe. I don't know. There are a couple of these that I play for the plot. What was it called? Shadows Awakening? I think I was pretty interested in the plot for that one. This one's kind of just an interesting post-apocalypse. It's an interesting post-apocalypse since it's somewhat futuristic, but it's kind of got this like grunge to it. And rather than being, you know, a radioactive future, it is demons and magic and stuff. Like, you don't usually see modern post-apocalypses that are... Like, the apocalypse is kind of already come and gone. Society is just either trying to rebuild or, like, find some stability. You especially don't find that in the modern era with, like, post-demons and stuff. Like, how would I describe this? I hope we get more Doom games. And I hope some of them show some semblance of, like, what happened to humanity afterwards. Oh, it's these guys. And travel a dangerous path, stranger. The solitary refuge is one of the few safe places in Whitemire. If you plan to set out on the road again, there's a way you could we could help one another. What might that be? These Slith are unnatural creatures and poison the land itself, so it's only fitting that we should turn some of their vile magic against them. Shamans carry bone necklaces, primitive things, but they carry primal power within them. Can weave this power into something potent for you. If you bring me a few of their necklaces and 100 iron bits to aid us in return, I'll fashion you a magical ring. Sure. Let's see, we also have a guy that I can sell stuff to. First, though, we should probably actually just put on the better items. We do have this. Also requires player level 12. I'll get rid of this one. And I think we're good unless we want to buy, like, the sacrificial knife or the rare one-handed axe. Honestly, it seems like the one I've got is way better. I'm still going angling for a two-hander build, but I'll use whatever for the time being. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other games in this genre that I care about the plot. Because I aggressively did not in Diablo 2 or 3. Especially 3. Like, the moment they introduced the... whatever her name was, that was you know, one of, or the daughter, question mark, of the warrior Diablo that was also potentially a host for, I don't know, once you started getting into that, it became too much. And it was hard for me to care because it was just, it wasn't good. It was hard to feel connected to the story since I wasn't anybody, or I wasn't relevant. I was just the impetus for things. Was I even the impetus for things happening? I don't know, I just wander around, hit stuff, and that was just what I would do. Is there much of a point to being out here? I guess we've got that. Ah, Glacial Isaac's Spalders. I'm trying to think of other action RPGs. Like, the plot for Path of Exile seemed vaguely interesting. Because if I remember, one of the, like, earlier plot points is that the sun goes out. And what does that mean for everything, and how do you get it back? I don't think I ever got that far. Unfortunately, it was confusingly told, because so much of the story felt like it was being told, you know, decades in the future, or, like, decades in the past. There's, like, this whole thing about these, like, tribes that were exiled and, you know, colonizing the land or making it theirs or something. And then also it seemed like society had much more recently kind of collapsed on itself. And so, like, while the story beats were interesting, the storytelling was messy. Ah, hiccup. I have, like, the weirdest, loudest hiccups. I make no excuses, it just is what it is. Part of it is just, like, I don't know, talking all the time messes with my diaphragm in weird ways. I'm sure maybe other actors or, like, radio personalities have similar issues. I've never heard people talk about these things, so maybe I'm just a mutant. But it's one of those that, like, I don't want to say my support network. My interactions with other people are just limited enough that I don't hear weird things like this. And so it does make me wonder if, yeah, I'm just slightly messed up in strange ways. Today's just going to be a full ramble because what do you even talk about in Grim Dawn? I had a... I had like a partially completed multiplayer series, and that's not bad because then you just banter. Talk about whatever you want, and then who cares if it's particularly relevant. When you're going solo commentary, you're just kind of making it up as you go along, especially. And so for me, I'm just going to be stringing from one topic to the next. Like, am I a freak for my weird hiccups? Or, actually, kind of in that vein, I always hated the sound of my own laugh. I always thought I laughed really annoyingly. And I don't think I've ever seen anybody complain about my laughter on YouTube, which is weird because that was like one of the big things that I was self-conscious about. And it's just not an issue. Okay, so I was going to do Shaman Oathkeeper, I think. Yes? Yes. We'll put 1 point in just to lock it in so I don't have to remember. And then do I want to just keep investing in this because it apparently has massive health regen? Absolutely. Because it's a huge DPS bonus and also survivability. So I can just keep clobbering things freely without worry. And yeah, I'll just keep bonking all the slith. I guess the one series I was lightly interested in the story for was Torchlight 2. I think if only because, like, I really wanted to get into it. Even if it wasn't actually better. Unfortunately, going from Torchlight 2 to Torchlight 3 to Torchlight Infinite? Like, whatever that live service version that they put out that no one likes. Whatever happened to that one? I have paid zero attention to it for the most part. I know they like reached out and were trying to get me to do like a sponsored video, but it just gave me weird bad vibes. And I don't think I was wrong. Kind of the same with Diablo 4 actually, where I was I had weird bad vibes leading up to Diablo 4. I mean, Diablo. And, like, kind of unsurprisingly, Blizzard's been kind of a garbo company for a while. The people there, I'm sure, are fine, but when your upper management is, like, totally evil, it doesn't matter how good the people are working for them, unless it's one of those, like... No, pretty much. No real answer on that one. I don't usually make moral compromises in that sense, and so it's like, yeah, they'll be there whenever I go back. I probably should have covered Blizzard games less, but, like, it is hard to break being a fanboy of a company for so long. Because, yeah, I definitely had done, like, some World of Warcraft streaming back in the day. Some, well, a Diablo 3 series. Actually, is that it? Is that all I've done? It was a lot of World of Warcraft. I mean, go figure. I played that, I played those games extensively when I was younger. And so it's a little bit difficult to break that kind of thing. There we go. But, you know, after all of the, like, big court cases and allegations started, it was like, yep, nope. I think I'm done with Blizzard products for functionally forever. But so I remember people were kind of trying to get hyped up for Diablo 4, kind of in my periphery. And I was just like, I don't know, it just gives me bad vibes. Like, Diablo Immortal, but slightly different. And thus far, I've been, I think, completely vindicated. Maybe it's actually way better than I think it is. And somebody can actually chime in on that one. But everything I'd seen about it made it look, just kind of not my thing. Okay. Poison Nova, when hit. Poison damage over time. Oh. The Barog's bloody arm is giving us a ton of bleed damage. Well, one way or another, I'm a two-hander boy, so I should be rolling two-hander. Okay. My rescue has arrived. I'm afraid you're too late. Those bloodthirsty bastards already took my best parts for their altar. Must be something I can do. I'm as good as dead. Don't waste your time on me. My valuable... Oh, it's his shoulder. I thought it was his leg. My valuables are going to do nobody any good hidden away under a tree stump, though. You've slain my captors, so you've earned this much. Follow the river outside the cabin to the river delta and search the shore. When the world went down the slith hole, I hid my most valuable possessions away underneath a loose tree stump. Take whatever you want, just bash some cultist heads in for me, eh? Already found the stash. Ha! Guess I should have hidden it better, eh? He grimaces in pain. I hope my things serve you well. Rest in peace. Is he just so tired? Rest now. He's just going to be there and kind of dying. That's dark. Ah! I'm so used to pressing WASD to move in this game, and it keeps throwing me off that I'm not pressing WASD. I don't know. Punch the microphone. This is like the most slapdash video I've made in a while, and I apologize. It's just, I don't know, it's life, I suppose. Ooh, penetrable boots. I really like the loot changes. In a lot of action RPGs in general, there's that constant feeling of, like, I have to, like, grab all this stuff and bring it back and go sell it, and, you see all the items drop, but it's all just, like, whites and blues and whatever the, like, lower tiers are, and you're just like, well, this is functionally meaningless to me. I don't need or want it. And so to have one of these games actually just say, yeah, what if actually we had less loot? It feels good to me. Like, very good, in fact. I really gotta change the map button to be like tab or something. Because, yeah, I'm gonna keep throwing myself off a little bit. But yeah, let's just use the big step. It really does seem like my character is just taking, like, a long step. Should be active unless I already got that one. I have no idea. We're We are just going. Carnage looks recent. It does, but also Snake. Okay. There we go. I don't know. Like I said, slightly slapdash. I don't know where I'm at with these games. I think it's because what I need to do, I need to actually just write this down, or not write this down, like reach out to my Patreon or something and just like have a big list of random question things that I can talk about. Because like I can keep complimenting this for what it's done, because it effectively takes everything that I really liked about the Diablo 2 formula, and then kind of twists it. And I mean, same is true of Titan Quest, which didn't we get like rumors that there might be a Titan Quest 2 actually? If so, I am very much looking forward to that. Alright, so what do we want to keep doing? Actually, I could put a lot of points into this too if I wanted to. Which is better? So this gets us some stuff. I think this gets us kind of the least. This might get us the most. It is honestly hard to tell. Otherwise, I could just keep investing points into this. Because we want all of them. You know what? I'm going to max this out. If savagery is done, then I don't have to think about it anymore. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I never know quite how to prioritize the trees in this one. Because if you want to, you can actually just rush all the way down to the end. Like a complete goon and just say, yep, I'm just gonna get what looks to be one of the stronger abilities earlier. And it just doesn't care, it just lets you do it. And I don't know, there's something really cool about the Grim Dawn formula, the much more fine-tuned character customization. What is a good example? Like, it was kind of the same thing with Diablo 2. You were just investing, like, hard into passives and abilities dedicated to, like, only your main attacks and nothing more. And then Diablo 3 is just like, actually, here's a bunch of abilities and you get, like, maybe a little bit of customization beyond that. And then mostly it's your gear and equipment. And I think that made it a much more, like, balanceable experience for the sake of, say, season passes. But from, like, a personal perspective, it just feels kind of eh. Nothing terribly exciting. You know, you find a new item and it's just like, yeah, it's slightly better than what I have. You level up and you get a new ability customization. It's like, yeah, okay, that one's pretty good. It changes what I had. But there's no feeling of, like, I built this. That I think hack and slash action RPGs thrive on. That kind of simplification works really well in, like, Minecraft Dungeons, for example. Who cares if Minecraft Dungeons is kind of simple? You know, your gear, I think, largely is the only thing that matters as far as what your build is. Like, maybe at some point I should actually sit down and go back and play through the entirety of Minecraft Dungeons and its DLCs, since, as far as I know, they're, like, done adding on to it. Am I going the wrong way? I might be. Who knows? Let's see. But, you know, for a game like that, it doesn't matter if it's on the simple side, because you're not really meant... It's not meant to be a complex game. On a personal level, like, I was playing Diablo 2 at, like, the age of 11, maybe? So, like, I think I still have some questions on whether or not you even need to be. Must have, like, a heckin' debuff on me. Okay, now that it's just me and Primordian, I should be able to just tank all of his hits. Maybe. Yeah, I might work on that regen perk of mine, though. I feel so tacky. Just sit here and just beat the dude to death. Ooh. Some blues. I always thought the greens in this game were like the really good items, but it is most definitely blues or higher. I don't know. Like I said, I've got to actually sit down and play through the entirety of this. I was really hoping this update would add like a... Well, they'd release like a PlayStation 5 version. And crossplay so I can play with my wife, but looks like no. Maybe for Titan Quest 2 or Grim Dawn 2 or something like that. Not that it like really matters too much, but I have found playing these games with a controller is very comfortable. Whereas like the point and click can be a little bit trying. Should mess with the map a little bit. Doesn't look like you can zoom it out though. Oh, the bees, or not bees, locusts? Are actually a little, we're still alive. Not that they really were much of a direct threat to me. There we go. But so, like, I understand why Minecraft Dungeons was simple, but it almost feels like it was too simple. And that might just be a me thing. That I find a lot of games meant for children are kind of dumbed down to make it easy for them to digest, but like, thinking about my experiences as a dumb child playing video games my entire life, I definitely made worse decisions, you know, when I was younger. And then, that isn't even, like, younger. Like, I was making dumb decisions when I was a college student who thought he was a smart guy. But so much of it just boils down to, I play video games for a living now, and so I'm sure I've just developed a lot more, but, yeah. I've developed a lot more just across the board. Damage, blocked, resistance. Overguard and Blitz, but we don't have Blitz. I think that might be for another round. Another type of run. Unfortunately, Krieg's Cleaver is a one-handed axe, which is a bit of a downer. Lifestealer Nova, though. Yeah, it's okay. Alright. Anything else? What about this belt? Oh yeah, better than what I have. And pretty soon we're gonna have nothing but greens. And so we'll just be able to pick up kind of everything. Or pick up everything and consider it. Oh, we have a man here. Thank goodness someone came. The Slith, they attacked my caravan and killed all my guards. I think the only reason they left me alive was so they could have me fresh later, those bastards. I'm from Devil's Crossing, I can help you get back there. Don't kid yourself. Look at this blood. I'm not going to be able to walk out of here. Appreciate the thought, but it might be better if you end it quick. You probably won't like this, but I can open a rift for you. Last thing I want is for my legs to stay on this side, well, the rest of me goes back. But you're not giving me any alternatives, are you? Send me off then. Whoop. They keep playing it up like it might be unsafe. Is there a point where the rift actually does kind of betray you, or is it just everybody being suspicious because rifts are effectively demon magic in this universe? Okay. I have no idea. Let's see. What do we even have back here? I'm gonna keep fighting the Slith. We still also need scrap. I always thought I had like a ton of that stuff, but I guess it's rarer than I thought, or I've left the area. Or it's one of those that there's less loot, and so we're not getting as much scrap, so I'm actually gonna have to work to get the water running for these people. It's not outlandishly impossible, all things considered. I'll have to look into the different builds and see if any of them have, like, just a slight cleave damage. Just so I can hit, like, 3 monsters at once instead of just 1. It might not be possible on this current build. This might be just, like, hit everybody. But being able to plow through multiple enemies simultaneously will definitely make some of the weak groups feel a little bit less sluggish. Oh, it's a bridge repair. But 3 scrap and 5,000 iron bits, which I actually do have. I could repair the bridge. Who cares? They don't need a well. Actually, there's like no reason for me to do so. Like, I could do it. It's not bad. I have a lot of money, but I kind of want to go down through here. One, because there's a fast travel point. Two, because I'm pretty sure you can get devotion points down in here. Or whatever those things are called, I forget. And we haven't even started messing with those. A lot of iron bits, a lot of spiders. Just waiting for me to check this campfire for snacks. I am so glad that we don't have any, like, mega predators in real life. Like, there's a couple that are slightly spooky, but that's about it. I wonder if there's anything that actually affects my dash. Adding, like, extra effects, like a blade dash. Sorry, I've been playing too much Death Must Die lately. And one of my favorite abilities in that game is a dash that sends out vampire feelers to suck the health of everything nearby, and it does a ton of damage. And I'm like, oh man, that would actually be really good on this game. I wonder if you can go dash build. I haven't seen anything dedicated to that yet. 3 dynamite to clear path. Well, I don't even have 1 dynamite. And if I remember right, dynamite's like weirdly hard to get early on. Okay, so how and where? I think there's a crossover point up to the top right. If not, we'll figure it out and go back down. I do almost kind of wish there was a, like, oh, you're not in combat. Here, you go faster option. But I guess I can see that being... I can see that being a little bit discombobulating if you're, like, sprinting in and out of combat. If you guys have played Risk of Rain... I'm thinking of the Red Whip, specifically. Which just gives you, like, a very noticeable speed boost the moment you are out of, combat, or stop attacking for a little while. It can be a little problematic, though, if you get hit by a random enemy, because all of a sudden you're really, really slow, and then any and all of the enemies can suddenly swarm you a little bit more. So, like, I'm not actually sure how much I like the Red Whip. It's one of those that's really nice if you're trying to clear distance, but it's also such a double-edged sword. It's mostly you just, hopefully, don't put yourself in that kind of position. You don't have to worry about it, maybe. I don't know if there's really much of a reason for me to be clearing this whole place out, but since the maps are 100% explorable, it seems like it's in my best interest if I actually do go and see everything. Okay, let's just keep working on this. Give me that swank HP regen. The less I have to think about using that health potion that I have infinite quantities of, the better, right? I take it as a personal challenge to never use consumables. Also, it's a neuroses because elixir syndrome is real, but I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's comforting not having to worry about it because I usually don't have to use them that often, and so when it's finally time to use them, they've flown my brain and I've forgotten that they exist. The fact that the rotate map button is directly next to the map button is throwing me off so super hard. Not that bad, but it's still a thing. Half of these things seem to only have like 24 HP, so I really am just in overkill territory here. There we go. I think it's better rotated now. What else do we have? And yeah, there's probably some kind of center map button or lock rotation. I might also just get rid of the buttons entirely and just say, like, I don't need to rotate my camera ever. Why would anybody expect that of me? Okay. You know, I was expecting I'd be getting more necklaces from these suckers. Well, you know what? I'm strong enough. Let's just do a very quick mid-combat level up. Give me even more regen. And damage? I guess it's probably worth not tanking those. Oh, there's another... There's another necklace. I don't know how many of those I actually needed, but I'm just gonna have a bunch, I suppose. Ooh. Alter actually had some goodies. I'm going to repeatedly be vocally happy that they made this change. I'm just trying to think of all of the different action RPGs I've played over the years and how many of them are just like, here are so many items that you need to download like a filter from some, you know, random person on the internet that is also sick of gathering all of these items. Like, that system is fine for me, but it is one of those where it's like, yeah, but what if there was just fewer items also? Doesn't matter that much. But it means this way I'm at least mildly excited to find an item. Even if I don't look at it immediately, it's kind of one of those where it's like, but a lot of these are probably upgrades. The other action RPG I really need to put some time into is Last Epoch, but it's getting its 1.0 sometime soon, like hopefully in the next couple of months. I've been seeing that they've been announcing like trailers and stuff for it, so it might actually be sooner than I think. And so it's one of those where I'm gonna be probably a little slow about getting back to that one. Because yeah, we were trying to play it multiplayer after they had added full online multiplayer, and the disconnections and the desyncs were just so bad. It reminded me of Wolcen, except for you could actually play. You just couldn't play very well. Man, speaking of action RPGs that just absolutely bombed, I have paid zero attention to Wolcen or what it has become since I last played it. I remember it ended on, like, just the stupidest cliffhanger. And yeah, I've just never paid any attention to it ever since. I feel bad, because, like, I was actually kind of invested in the story. Okay, so what do we have? Is this better? Can't tell. I might as well. I think this is better. Let's see, what about these? Sure. I want the Firewalkers, but I've got to be a couple levels, one more level higher. I don't actually know if the Firewalkers are even that good. If you find yourself going about these parts, I was wondering if you could help locate someone. I'm a bit tied up with the forge here. Someone disappeared? My master, Ankrum, left our camp earlier today. He's intent on finding a group of survivors that he considers worthy of our smithing talents. We don't exactly see eye to eye on the matter of who we should be helping. Ankrum wants to field an army to take the fight to the Ethereals. I'd rather save as many as I can, whether they can fight or not. I want to help these people, but without my master's forging hammer, the sacred Malleum Menhir, I won't be able to make anything worth a damn. Blacksmith, we could use you in Devil's Crossing. If you can get the Malleum Menhir back, I'll gladly join you in Devil's Crossing. After I use it to help out around here. Please check out seek out my master and get the Malleum Menhir back. So I'm heading out to the northeast. We couldn't have gone far. Yeah, so the master is very much a, like, only the strong need survive. You know, call the weak, they're only holding us back. We need to take the world back before we, you know, ever think of coddling the weak. But, like, that's usually how you end up with just, like, the worst society after the fact. Wow, these suckers actually hurt. I'm glad that the potion also gives me some HP, but also just seriously boosts my regen. think I'm fighting like 4 of these camps simultaneously, which is probably part of my problem. Now, if I remember right, I've never messed with this, but this game actually has like a faction reputation system. I'm so curious about what the plot looks like if you do different things. Like, can you completely just throw the game off to the point where it's unrecognizable from one playthrough to the next? Or is it just like minor stuff, like the people of Devil's Crossing are dead now? It's something I'll have to, like, look into and pay attention to. It's not a high priority of mine to... I mean, okay. First one is, I want to just beat this game just once. Just to say, like, yes, I've actually played more than the first 10, 20 hours of Grim Dawn over and over and over again. I did the same thing on Diablo 2. Like, I think I've only beaten Diablo 2 twice. Oh, I guess that's not quite true. I beat it a bunch of times on one character. But that doesn't really count, does it? My friends and I would do bail runs and stuff, and that was nice and fun. I think we were also playing on Open Battle.net, so it was a little easier. Because I think we could duplicate items and some other stuff to make it just a little smoother. I know why people played on ladder, so it was like a more fair, competitive experience. For me, though, it was just kind of like, oh, you know, we both want this, like, really good weapon. Here. Tradesies. Okay, most assuredly cannot fit all of this. Do we go back? Yeah, I guess we might as well. I forgot how good the music is on this. What's this guy want? Oh, thanks for saving my behind back there. Turns out not all the rifts mean bad business. I've gone ahead and set up shop. Let me know if you need anything. Okay. So he sells all of the goodies. Yeah, I think I'm just going to sell every green I've got. Okay, I'll put these on. And yeah, I thought Pusquills would be good, but it's too late now. And yeah, that savagery bonus would be nice. I might keep all of my blues just to pass to other characters. Let's see. Better force wave upgrades. Yeah, I have no concept of which of these are better or worse. At least not at a glance. Ooh. Oh, but this requires a shield. Yeah, we don't need that. I guess I can just keep these in my stash, in the off chance that they're actually useful. Fortunately, Milton was one of the dead. Goodbye.
Got something you need stashed?
Yeah, I don't remember if you can actually move components from inventory. Item transfer, stash. Place items in the transfer area to have them make them available to all of your characters. Yes. So this is where I want to kind of hoard some things. Ooh. Is this a better amulet? Health, regen, constitution. What is constitution? Bonus to maximum constitution, but what is constitution period? I have no idea. I'm assuming it boosts my HP. Sure. Let's see. But yeah, I might as well move these around. And actually, yeah, leave some items for future characters or other characters. Just because I am going to be playing this off and on again for years, I'm sure. And so being able to say, like, hey, here's like every blue in existence, if you want it, actually might be a good idea. Because you never know when those are going to be actually valid. We also have the iron door. But yeah, I don't know how to open that one. I know it's part of a quest line. That's all I know about it. Like I was looking at the wiki for this earlier this year, because I was trying to do another playthrough. Didn't get very far. I think I once again cleared Act 1 and then said, yeah, good enough for me. But I think I had been looking up, like, how to do some of these things and how to interact with stuff, and I'm like, oh man, you know, Grim Dawn is just like 1,000 times deeper than I gave it credit for. And I still think that is one of the... I think that's really cool. I play a lot of, like, really small, short games, or really long, but, like, linear and kind of shallow games. And it's rare that I run into a game where it's beefy enough that it would actually hold my attention for 100 hours. I think the big issue with Grim Dawn mostly just comes down to, I interact with things by clicking on them. And so I guess what I should do is have a controller. Because I haven't tested that yet. See if it actually triggers. I know I can use controller controls. Oh, I'm letting a mid-boss just wail on me. Excuse me. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be active at the moment. Let me check something. Controls. Key bindings. Yeah, it might not work. I'll have to poke at it. It might also be one of those where I just have to relaunch the game. But credit where credit is due on Diablo 3. They did make controller controls work. Okay. Like, playing Diablo 3 on a controller was incredibly comfortable. And so, I know you can kind of do controller controls on this, because I've done it on my Steam Deck. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. But I'll have to poke at it with this build as well. Greetings, stranger. I hope you're here, out here fighting the good fight. I'm here for the Malian men here. What do you know about it? Duncan needs it to help the refugees. He's a talented boy, that one. The way he weaves magical properties onto his craft astounds even me sometimes. Prefer a finely honed blade and a solid shield to that nonsense, though. Duncan was my finest apprentice, but he still needs to learn some priorities. Those people he's trying to help can't help themselves. Our knowledge is a rare gift. We cannot squander it on those that refuse to fight for the cairn. It's time the hammer was passed on. It is true Duncan brings a fresh approach to the forge with his arcane weapons, and he goes about his work with unrivaled energy. He still lacks the experience to make weapons for real soldiers and masters of the blade. I cannot have the power of the Malian men here wasting away when we're at war. I will see that his work benefits humanity. Side with Duncan. You put him to work, eh? You do seem to be the capable sort, he sighs. Very well, Duncan will inherit the Malian men here. Take it to him, let him do his charity work, but after that... Thank you, he and I will do great things. Huh. I actually thought I had to kill that guy. I think I skipped through the dialogue the last couple times I've interacted with him because I just didn't care. Nice to know that I don't have to kill the guy. Right, I never finished the story about, like, me playing this for the first time. I did it as part of, like, a good old game stream event where you got to pick, like, one game from their library to feature. And so I was like, yeah, I'm going to do Grim Dawn on veteran mode, because that'll be fun, right? And it was, actually. It was a ton of fun. But so my experience with this was the absolute maximum difficulty I could possibly jam it on. Ooh, blueprint. Is this good? Cold and lightning damage, energy resistant. It's okay. I think I'll just pass it on to another character. Anyway. Do we think it's about time for the video to end? I have no idea. I've cut this video so many times that I'm like, either I've been going for like 40 minutes or I've been going for well over an hour, and I have no idea. Time melts away when I play these games. I think mostly I just gotta figure out, to continue playing, I think the thing I need the most is some movement speed bonuses. Just something that lets me cross distances faster. If I can figure that out, you know, either it's some items that give me that, or it's, either some items or it's some build decisions that'll give me what I'm looking for. I might also want to look into, like, respecking a little bit. Pick something with a little bit more of an AoE. I saw Force Wave go by earlier, and I wonder if that's actually a much more viable option here. Though, I do have to say, Tempest has impressed me, mostly with the... It is Tempest, right? Shaman. Shaman has impressed me with the, hey, just regen like crazy. That is such a just convenient thing to have early on in one of these games. I'm sure it probably dips off later on, but like for the most part, I can just eat all shots and not have to worry. And boy, I'm so glad that they made it that potions are no longer something that you have to fiddle with. I was always a chore. See, we've got more dungeons. I do like it, though. Like, I don't know, it's just kind of fun plowing through large crowds of enemies. And then, yeah, occasionally getting loot. With, like, kind of an interesting world, kind of an interesting story. Dang good voice acting, and, like... I don't remember when this game originally came out. It's reasonably old at this point. I want to say it's like 5 or 6... Or even 7? No, it's gotta be at least 7 years old. As far as releases go, because, like, we were playing this multiplayer, like, a long time back. At some point, I'll finish it. I'd mentioned I wanted to, start doing game reviews, and I think this is going to be one of those that I eventually get to. I think I've got some other ones that I want to get through first. Shorter games, so I can actually, like, make a review reasonably quickly and not have to worry about being comprehensive. Get out of here. There we go. Corpse fire, reflective. That can't stop me. There we go. Did he not have one of those floating loot orbs? Maybe not. This is why I'd picked the damage reflection build for my last character. Because I wanted to be in this situation where all the enemies would just bounce off of me and die. But on the flip side, this current setup is just walk up, see enemy, hit enemy, watch them die horribly. Rinse, repeat. It's satisfying. But, I mean, truly, that is just these games. Like, almost universally, it might not have the, like, the longest staying power, but it's that kind of perfect level of incremental gain comboed with, like, fine-tuned build management. That really doesn't exist outside of these games, this specific genre. And it's one of those where it's like, I crave more of it. I wish we got them. I would love to see them modernize a little bit more somehow. I don't know how they do it. Because if you made it more like skill-based, you'd lose a lot of that like fine-tuned build management. Like the thing about an action RPG is you're not trying to or the goal of the game is not to be immensely difficult. The goal of the game is to be just challenging enough that players have to kind of figure out a build to kind of deal with these situations. And, like, for the most part, it takes almost no brain to solve the early levels. Just, like, find a couple of abilities that are strong and roll with that. But that most of the skill comes in finding out, like, which skills and abilities work well together to make a complete build later on, rather than just putting points into everything. Okay, there we go. And, like, there's something very gratifying about that kind of experience where it's challenging more on a mental side of things than a actual... Let's see. It's challenging more on a mental side of things than on, like, a specific gameplay. Like, I'm glad they added the dodge roll button. I'm hoping it's not necessary. Good for getting out of AoEs on, like, big bosses, maybe, or to to make some distance if you need a heal. But beyond that, I don't know, I could see it being slightly problematic. It's a little clunky. It's... the camera kind of seizes when you move. It almost feels like the camera moves before you do. And maybe that's what's messing with me on it. I don't know. That's like the only mild, maybe, complaint I have. And considering how good Crate Entertainment's been about specifically supporting Grim Dawn, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't do, like, another big patch or two. Either to rebalance some more things, modernize it a little bit more, do kind of teaser tie-in with Titan Quest, or who knows, man. I'm looking forward to all of it, though. Like I said, there aren't enough of these games, and I would love to see a more modernized Crate Entertainment, like, day one game. Well, not day one, but, you know, now that they've had some more time to, like, really let the formula cook, even more than they had with Titan Quest to this, I think that could actually be something truly special. But also, Grim Dawn is truly special. It is, I think at least for me, it is probably my favorite hack-and-slash action RPG, but I'd have to put some time into Last Epoch to really tell. Because both of them have very major merits. Last Epoch does look a little bit prettier in some of the locations. There's a lot of shiny gold bits that makes my magpie head brain go like, yes, give me. I am stuck? I'm stuck. I think I was, like, trying to click on the tree and it wasn't working. I know you can hold shift to hit things, but that's not always the most reliable. Anyway, I guess with all of this said, Grim Dawn's available on Steam and Xbox. Blech. Steam and Xbox, so if you want to pick it up on either of those, highly recommend it. It is one of the best action RPGs, hack-and-slash action RPGs ever made. And I'm not saying that lightly. I love this genre, and I'm pretty picky. Sort of. I will play all of them. I will enjoy all of them, but there are very few that I will give that kind of accolade to, maybe. Maybe that's the way of praising it. Because, yeah, I actually liked at least a portion of Torchlight 3. But I think that's mostly to do with the fact that the Robot Man was fun, so was the dude with the train that followed him. Both of those were kind of charming. Anyway, I guess with all that said, if you guys like this video in any way, shape, or form, leave me a like, helps more than you know. And if you want to see more rad new games every single day, then hit subscribe because I got tons to check out and show off. But with that, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. I guess I should probably kill off this guy's, like, mooks first. It's so hard to stop playing these games. Loot is... oh, he's just so tempting. Oh, I got the firewalkers now. Heck yeah, I don't even know what they do. But my feet are on fire.